It's made in executive session. Okay, Steve.
Final item is we do need to restock our grader tire supply out of the shop. We're down to just 2 on hand, and I would like to purchase 2 new ones. I've required 3 bids. It's going to go with the lowest, and then also would like to get an additional tire. It's going to be a different size with the new unit that we're getting, so we could have one of those on hand. Just the tire, not any of the rims, just so we've got a spare tire for the new one in case something goes on
Do you
it.
have an estimate on what the tires are going to be?
It's going to be $782 for the smaller tires delivered for each one. Well, $739, and it's going to be $1.25 for mile
Okay.
one way, and it's coming out of Goodland. And then the other tire was $1,078.
All right.
And that all comes out of your budget, right?
Correct.
Tires are getting to where they're hard to get a hold of, so we did that a little ahead of time,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
We need a
Everything.
motion on that.
Yeah.
Heard some of the vendors that it could end up taking several months in the not too distant future to acquire tires, so it's
You
short
said you
supply
got
right
bids
now.
on them,
I did, yeah.
and you went with the lower bid.
The lower bid, correct.
So it'll be right under 3,000 is what it's going to be.
Yes.
I make a motion that we purchase 1 smaller tire for the grader for $782 and 2 larger tires at $1,078 for the graders, for the larger tire.
Well, it'd be 2 of the smaller tires for
Oh.
the current graders that we have on hand, and then that one larger one is for the new grader we're getting
Okay. Sorry.
today.
Second.
Okay, first and second, all in favor? Aye. Okay.
And that's all I had this morning.
That's all I have.
You guys?
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
I need 5 minutes executive session.
Okay.
Can we do it with the advice of council?
Not if she's not here. They're gonna stick around a while.
Could we do it for,
She's gonna be back up after her court deal.
Okay,
So if you guys are sticking around for that other thing.
Okay, you want us to be in the
it's for.
building here, so once you
It's
guys
for
get
out
back?
north.
Okay.
And it doesn't need to be, as far as I'm concerned, in the public. Visit about it. I know it's,
Okay. Yeah, we
see,
can be
I
around.
mean, see what she thinks we ought to do.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
thanks, Steve.
Get that other gentleman.
You can call him up then.
Randy, come on up, I think. Okay. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I couldn't tell, and by the time I got to looking about this Cheyenne County Village, I didn't know if that CCV contract was, you were going to talk about the roof, or
No,
that was a Cheyenne County van, apparently, huh?
Yeah.
well, no, it was the new contract with Cheyenne County Village Board that we had.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take the time, but I thought, well, maybe Eddie didn't
Get a hold of you.
Yeah, but of course, what K-Camp allowed to do is re-roof the old nursing home portion, right? Mm-hmm. The new assisted living, both those are total roofs, but on they're replacing half of the roofs on the apartment buildings to the east side. Apartment 1 and 2 is just the north slope only. Apartments 11 through 14 are just roof vents and gutters and downspouts and fascia. There's no roofing on it.
You've went through this with Eddie?
I've sent him, because Eddie, I think, asked
Yeah,
for a bid.
yeah.
But yeah, I sent him the K-Camp report.
Okay.
Okay.
But an
So we knew
apartment,
what the damage was.
and apartment 3 through 6, but I think Eddie was under the impression that it was all the roofs. And I told him, I said, well, not according to the
It's just
to K-Camp. Yeah, so, and, and just trying to get ahead of the thing, I gave in my bid, I sent it to Scott, but of course, the dollars that you're talking about here, it's gonna have to be bonded. Which, I mean, I don't know how K-Camp handles bonds, but whether that's supposed to be part of, I mean, it's not part of what they're allowing here, but whether they allow, because everybody's bond is different, okay? I don't think there's anybody in the country that has a bonding rate less than ours. In fact, I know it isn't. Most of them are between 10 and 15 times higher. So you could be talking an
So you're saying the
additional,
contractor needs to be bonded?
exactly, for this kind of money. And our bond is included in our
Estimate?
estimates. Oh, there's Eddie right there.
Eddie, you want to step up here?
You're right in the middle of the conversation.
Can't be, I'm not on the agenda for this.
Well, trying to get something worked
Okay,
out.
so what do you think?
But
Keep us
anyhow, so if they're not replacing, then all of the entire roof, then you wind up with, okay, are we gonna have something that's close?
To match.
To match.
Right.
There's malarkey shingles are on, they're a 30-year malarkey that are on those apartments now. They're only replacing half of those apartments on 2 of them, and one of them just gets roof vents and whatever. But, so if you want to go with class 4 impacts, which if you have the money,
How much more are the class 4s? In
it's about 24,000 on more
total?
on what they've allowed to replace there now. And that's using a malarkey. And so,
And I've kind of got on my back burner with this, but what K-Camp said was they would prefer that we went with the impact resistant. He gave us both. The Midwest Roofing, he just gave us 30-year what was on there. And I've emailed them back to get one for impact. Haven't heard anything back from them.
Okay.
I do have the 2 quotes here you want to look at.
Absolutely. Does K-Camp give us a...
Now, if we go with, what K-Camp said is if we go like with the impact resistant ones, there's more money that they can give us to cover that.
Okay.
well, that's a good deal. I mean, if they will.
I mean, because it's going to save money down the road.
Yeah.
Will it affect the premiums a little bit? Or do you know? Will it make it help?
Well, it should, but probably
should, but-
not. But if they're gonna allow a little extra to
But what
do
we're-
that, then that's a
Do it.
big deal.
Yeah.
What we're looking at is in 2 years, that roof on the assisted living's been totaled twice.
Yeah. Well, I think impact resistance is the way to go.
Seeing the contractor hadn't paid for the first one, you know, because they weren't gonna turn the building over to us unless it was 100%, so.
But and so if you, it's about 24,000 doing what K-Camp allowed. But if you put class 4 impacts and redo all the roofs over there, then you're looking at about 41,000 extra just on the roof.
41 instead of 24,
Right, if you
if you do them all.
Do
if you
the
do
whole
the whole,
roofs.
yeah. So, I mean, if you're just gonna do what they allow, then the 24,000,
Seems silly to do half the roof to me, but that's the way
listen,
they
I-
did it.
Well, most of those frontages, you're only gonna
This
see
isn't good
one
anymore.
half of it at a time anyway,
We'd
as
have
far
to
as
do
that.
A new
I mean,
build.
it's-
Okay.
You know, you're either, most of those buildings you're gonna see from one side to the other. It's not like you're gonna compare it side to side. Surely you can get a color that's close, but
yeah. But I mean, I would encourage you to go to a class 4 impact. I think it just makes,
Especially with the history.
Yeah.
yeah, well,
and if they're gonna pay a little extra for that quality.
yeah.
So were these the only two bids we had?
No, he said he had another one, but they haven't
No.
returned it.
Yeah, that's the two different places.
Well, and I'm not asking you to make a decision today.
Well, we need to, and I apologize, this kind of
No,
slipped back.
it's probably a next year's project at this point anyhow.
I agree with that.
But, you know, the problem that we run into is, I mean, we've had price increases on,
And availability probably.
well, availability's not the problem, but the price darn sure is.
K-Camp paid $122,000. We have that money. They said, please note the county has up to an additional $40,000 available if incurred.
That offset.
I've never seen one written that way.
Well, is that
That'll
just
definitely
depreciation or?
Offset
I'm
the
surprised if
24.
we didn't need the other 40.
I think that was
That's a tough.
trying to entice us to get the impact resistant
Yeah.
shingles on
I
it.
don't.
I did
have-
not send that to you, no, I didn't.
Huh?
I didn't send that to you, but
yeah, I
that's a
don't-
separate email that they had sent me, so.
Well, yeah, no, but I don't have the settlement. Did they withhold depreciation?
I think so, yeah.
And that might be, I mean,
Would this be something you do in the spring so
Yeah.
the shingles would adhere good? Okay.
yeah.
Do we want to put the bids today, or do we want to wait?
If you're gonna, are you basically saying that you buy the materials now and keep them, or if we approve?
I would
it?
like to, I mean.
I think if the way stuff's going, I think if you guys feel comfortable, making a decision,
What is the total bid?
Well, on just the roofing is 130,283.
And that's with the impact.
no.
No, that's just
What's the impact?
the impact or
24,000.
154,481 on what K-Camp allowed.
So see, it's still gonna all be covered then.
And then,
And then
What was
you've
it?
got $26,272 in gutters, downspouts, and fascia, and that's already gone. I mean, that's already probably gonna have to be
so that's
revisited.
180,000 about. Somewhere in there,
Yeah.
181,000 or.
They, you know, K-Camp uses a program it's an insurance industry program. We have the same program. But the problem that we're running into, and they have the same issues, is like aluminum guttering. It's gone up 3 times in the last 90 days. It's almost double what it was in February and March.
We got a bunch of aluminum cans up at the recycling. Can we use them along with it?
Help yourself.
Roger, if you want to cut them up, we'll paste them together.
Great idea.
Eddie, you can supervise.
Now, if you're saying that we're gonna get about 162,000, and if we do like Weathercraft said, it's gonna cost us 181,000. So we're gonna be short
19,000.
19,000.
I have,
Still have a capital improvement that you do.
I have worked
The
with
thing
those
is-
guys.
Yeah, K-Camp only did on those apartments half the roof, because they said the other half of the roof, and that was strange to me, that they did half.
I wish they would have done the whole thing, because it'd
Yeah.
make more sense.
But they're not gonna pay on something that doesn't damage.
Right.
And you have it in just doing half the roofs on some of that. You got exactly what K-Camp will pay, or is that
On-
all of it?
No, on the first 2. The last bid is tearing off all the roofs and replacing them with a Class 4 impact.
So it is.
Yeah.
So that
So
would be plus,
171,000.
so plus this and that,
Yeah.
and subtract.
So we're still-
162.
So we're still 20-some thousand short, 20,000. Is that right?
Be like 38, right?
Yeah, and we might, I have worked with those guys at K-Camp, and he knows, they know that the price of this stuff, so, if you approve us to do the roof, I'll work with him and try and get you some more money over and above your Class 4 on, especially on the metal items, the
Fascia.
gutters, downspouts, and fascia.
I think the way those pricing is changing on the aluminum, I think we need to revisit that with K-Camp with the day you're gonna order it. So that's glued together. And like you say, you know K-Camp guys, and I'm sure they would be agreeable to that.
Occasionally, I've actually done some estimates for them because some of their people don't have, when it comes to commercial roofing stuff. And that's a whole nother. If you have any roofs that you're thinking about, flat roofs that you're thinking about replacing, just keep in mind that right now they're probably 11 months out getting material on that. Now, shingles and that,
Right.
shingles stuff
Don't have
is,
anything flat, do we?
No, I think this was the only.
there was no flat roof.
But it's just an indication of
When
how,
you say the balance can come out of capital outlay, where-
Capital improvement.
capital improvements, is that part of the 6 mil?
That's what up to 6 mils that they don't spend goes into the capital improvement fund.
so that would come out of our funds.
Come out of the county's capital improvement
Okay,
fund.
okay.
Or if it's CCV.
Okay.
But
We would have that much less to spend on our capital improvement projects.
But it's a capital improvement to your facility.
Well, I don't know if that's where we want to spend that extra money. We've got other stuff to do. We hate to spend,
That's why I ask. I think we need to discuss some of this.
What's the actual number?
How it needs to be done.
So, that's,
Maybe we ought to just do the half the roofs.
that'd be my recommendation.
And even though we put the impact 4 on one side, when the other side gets damaged in the next hailstorm, we'll put the impact 4s on them.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
totally what
I
you
mean,
do.
as long as it kind of matches Like you said, you're only gonna see one side at a time anyway,
But if,
except for Rick Rogers flying over the top.
what if
You
we-
got other things to talk about.
if he could get K-Camp to step up for the other half, would we be interested in that, though? If we don't have to do the out-of-pocket? Yeah. I think we ought to make a motion on the, doing it like the first, and if he can get K-Camp to step up, then we might.
Are you open to public comment?
Yes.
I think you're getting in a dangerous situation here.
Okay.
I'd like to, if I, from the village on that board, I think I want to know the exact amounts. Because you're saying the prices that went up, you'll negotiate, how much you gonna negotiate?
Well, I mean, that's, most of the time, I've never had K-Camp not allow extra on a project, not once.
So
We've done 3 or 4 counties
People that overstock.
repairs, and, I mean, I have a pretty good working
Okay,
relationship with
man.
those people.
Because we're such limited with our
That's what you
money.
want to make a motion for. I'm
It's
with you.
without knowing the
Could
exact
you glue
amount.
those numbers together with K-Camp and come back at the next meeting in a couple of weeks? I
Can.
mean, that make you feel better, Rod?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I don't like to go.
You can approve what K-Camp
Yeah.
has approved right now.
And then change it at a different, say if it's less or more, we can change it at a different time. So we're just actually hiring a contractor, not nailing down a price?
No, you're nailing down a price for what K-Camp has already allowed.
That's allowed.
But if there's a price
So-
increase on the gutters and fascia, then,
Yeah, that's gonna have to be dealt with on the backside, that's the,
but you could get those numbers put together in 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And come back.
yeah. But the only thing, like I said, if we sign a contract, I mean, if we get approved to do this, I'd like to get the material on the ground so that I don't have to worry about a $25 a square price increase on shingles. Because we're not gonna be able to do this until spring at this point.
We're going to be responsible for $18,752 if we do half the roof and the fascia, downspouts, and gutters. Do we have that in? We have that in,
Capital improvement.
okay.
And my guess is that we can probably get them to pay a little more on the gutters and downspouts.
I think what we need to do is what you were saying. Do the half roof and that, and then see what he can get. And then we
But
may-
see, Cheyenne County Village doesn't own those buildings, so we hate to see that extra come out of our capital
Gotcha.
improvements on our
But
side.
that's what that capital improvement is for. The commissioners have control over that capital
I
improvement. You do
understand.
not.
But my question is, do we have any say on it?
No, apparently.
Well, maybe it'd be something that we have you look into and see where we'd be, because I don't want to go spending money out of accounts and making other people upset. I mean, we buy insurance for a reason. I think that you'll find that they'll probably help out a little bit more, and then we're not going to step on anybody's toes. What do you think?
And you think you got an additional 40,000?
That's what they said.
See, we've
So-
got 162, and that is 187.52, which is a difference of 18,752. That's with the half roof class 4, and your gutter and downspout is what it comes to that the county would be
And that's counting that extra 40,000?
Yes,
from-
120. What I've got is K-Camp is 122,000 with an additional 40,000 if we go with the impact 4 shingles, is what I've got in my notes. Is that correct, Scott? Okay. So what I did is add those two numbers together, which is 162, and I added your two numbers together, which was 180,752. Subtracted those, 18,752 would be what we, as a county, be on the hook for. So we could either table it and have him see what he can get from K-Camp, or we could approve that and see what he can get. And I'm fine with either way.
Okay, are these gutters and downspouts, are they beat up bad?
Not really.
I mean, do we need to
They're
do
still
it?
gonna drain water if that's your.
I mean, do they look good driving by?
Well, I don't know that you can really tell. I mean, you gotta get kinda up underneath of them and that's always an option, but if they held depreciation on, you're not gonna get, if you don't replace it, then you're not gonna get that depreciation back either. And without.
Is that not figured in, Randy?
Well, I don't have the entire, I don't have if they withheld depreciation. Well, yeah, they did.
They usually
With
do.
the one
They have
would
in
be
the
the
past
bad.
anyway.
Yeah, I did not calculate that, but this is the amount that they depreciated. I'm assuming they don't send you the depreciation right up front.
No, they haven't in the past anyway.
Seems to me if we waited 2 more weeks, it isn't gonna hurt anything, hurt us
At this
any
point,
to find
probably
out.
not.
You think?
Well, I'm having a little trouble, and please don't take this wrong, but this here bid
Exactly. You'd have to
is,
rebid
you'd
it.
have to rebid it. And
And I can have that
by
done.
law, I think we need to have it so we have two bids that are,
Well, they're both about the same time period. But I can get, let's just table it till the next meeting. I'll get an
I think we
updated.
need to sit down and talk with Eddie and,
Well, I didn't think we had any say over it. That's why I wasn't concerned about this part of your meeting this morning. You know, I didn't think we had anything to say about it, so.
well, you don't, but yet,
You
if you got
have a
some,
voice.
if you have some projects up there that are really important too.
And with a
I mean,
campus
we-
that size, there are things that need done. Because there's a lot of buildings up there. Yeah.
There's a lot of
A
buildings.
lot of stuff.
And that's not a class 4.
You think we ought to go ahead and just table it till the next meeting, and that will give us a chance to work on it more?
If Scott feels all right with it.
Yeah, it just, I mean, as long as we don't drag on till February.
I know, we gotta do something.
Because this stuff is, I mean, they literally, I get an email one day and they say, we're going up 8% tomorrow.
This is the first time we've seen anything on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. You've seen it before.
I didn't remember it, I guess.
So time is of essence. I mean, if you don't want to do it today, it certainly needs done at the next meeting, I feel.
What's your view on it? Pay it, do it now or table it?
Well,
I think you guys have agreed to table it, so let's just,
so,
Okay, then why don't we just table it until the next meeting and
Could you do the checking with K-Camp?
Yeah.
Okay.
can I have those back, Roger? Well, I need that back too, that's mine.
This is yours?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Nope. It's all right.
okay.
I will, I mean, you may have to check with him about the extra class 4.
I will get with K-Camp.
I mean, the other side of it, I mean, I can ask, I can ask if there's additional money available over and above that bid. I mean, most of the time there is.
Okay.
Okay, well, see you in 2 weeks then.
Okay.
But
Randy,
surely
thank you for coming
K-Camp
over.
will address any price increases since they gave you these numbers. I mean,
There.
that's just,
Everybody's fighting it
yes.
all along, so, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Randy. Chair went down.
I've never seen anything.
No. Because he's been asking me about it for the last couple of months. Hey, Dawn.
How are you guys?
Good, and you?
Done?
Do we need to wait for him to come back?
Probably.
Okay. Work? And is Leslie not here today?
She'll be in and out.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
She's in court right now.
Gotcha.
How's things going over there?
One day at a time.
To get someone hired?
I did.
Good.
Yes. We ready to go?
Yep.
Oh, yep. Okay. So yes, I ran an ad for 2 weeks for the position that was available in the office. I got 4 candidates. They were all great candidates. I was very impressed with the applicants. I narrowed it down to 2, and then I narrowed it down to 1. So this is who I chose. She accepted. We're going to start here. She should. The start date should be next Friday, November 5th. Hopefully that doesn't change. And just so you guys are kind of aware, one of my applicants, when I showed her this, was not very impressed with the hourly wage. So, and she declined to continue on with because of it.
Because
So,
of which?
yeah, it's quite low, given the duties of the job. So, I don't know if at some point we can revisit that. I know we're
Budget for an increase in salary? I thought we did.
We haven't done that yet, no.
I thought we did.
well,
Probably gonna have to look at it at budget time.
right.
Next year.
Yep. So I just didn't. I want to get that on the radar and get that on. However, we need to do that to get that adjusted, because I know that there's going to probably be a cost of living raise in January, but that it really needs to. Starting wage needs to come up for that position. But she did accept. She should start next Friday. I'm really excited about it. I think she'll be a good fit with Melva and I, and with everything. With balancing, I should get through July today. I've got one day left of July of this year. So, and the 3 checking accounts are up to date. I did, as far as reconciling, I did go back and do January through June on all of the, like the Register of Deeds and the 911, all of the kind of smaller bank accounts that don't have so many transactions. And they only have 2 or 3 transactions a month type of thing. So those have all been reconciled as well. So still on track with getting things caught up, hopefully before tax statements go out. This afternoon I'll be working on my distribution. It's the final distribution of the tax year to get all the taxes out. And then working with Scott on getting tax statements prepared for 2021. So I'm hoping they will go out in November and not in December. I'm really, really hoping they'll go out before Thanksgiving, if not even earlier than that. So, yeah, I don't know if we need a motion or not, but
I thought we did.
I would do a motion to approve hiring
okay.
the person.
I make a motion that we hire Jennifer Thompson, starting at a classification 2 for county deputy treasurer assistant.
Second.
Okay, it's been first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I guess I don't even know the lady over
I
there.
don't either. Just one from Bird City,
Yes,
right?
yep, she's from
Yeah.
Bird City.
I don't know where she come from, I don't know where, Nebraska, Colorado.
Colorado, Wyoming, she's kind of, yeah,
She was a
so,
bookkeeper for Ryan Trucking?
some sort of,
It's a
yeah,
big trucking company.
yeah. She has a lot of accounting experience, so I'm hoping and she's young and energetic and enthusiastic, and I'm quite excited about it, so. I got personal property warrants certified and up to the clerk of the court, delinquent notices, all that. So closing out the tax year, this distribution that I'm going to do this afternoon is kind of the last step of that to start the new tax year. All the banks, like I said, all the banks are up to date to July. I should have daily statements up to date through July. So we're getting closer and closer to current day. We still are just doing driver's license by appointment only. With Melva and I, the only ones in the office that are fully trained in doing driver's license. And then with this new person coming in and us trying to train the new person, I'm going to keep it at appointment only for driver's license.
Is that working out okay?
Yeah, it has been so far. Normally, we can get them in the next day. So, and with doing a Monday through Friday, before we were only doing them Tuesday through Friday. So opening up Monday has helped with people's schedules. So another change that I'm going to make, and I will get that out, is that I'm going to have a 4 o'clock cutoff on title work. It's really difficult when people come in at 4:30 when we're trying to balance with their title work. It's a 15 to 20 minute process, and most other counties have a 4 o'clock cutoff for title work. So I'm just going to kind of follow suit with that and get that out to the public.
Okay.
So, do you guys have any other questions for me? I don't really have any.
Update on the November abstract, which is used to compute taxes and stuff. We talk probably every day about it.
Yep.
Right now, as of yesterday, I'm waiting on Sherman County for some levies. Sherman County's waiting on Thomas County. It's a new clerk. She ran into some issues, so hopefully Monday we all get our stuff and move on. So. But
There's
yeah.
been a lot more communication this
Yes.
year between counties too. So it's
Nice.
yes, it is nice. Hopefully that will then, the end result will be that tax statements will go out earlier. And I hopefully, if he can get,
Once I get this levy, then
Yep.
I can hand it off to Dawn and she can compute the tax and do all.
right, so at least
You've got to
taxes,
explain this to me. Why do we have to have tax levies from other counties?
Because the one right now, it's the Sunflower District 6.
Oh,
You know, I like
okay, well,
our valuations.
Right.
Like Cheyenne, I've got to get valuations
From Rawlins County.
Then I've got to give them a levy
yeah,
after that so that they can.
it just didn't make sense to me why we had to have
Yeah.
it's-
their tax levies.
yep, yep.
Same with
So-
the Northwest Kansas Library Board.
Okay, all right, understand. Thanks.
So hopefully he can get all of his numbers done and everything passed over to me next week, and then I can at least get the system updated with current tax for 2021. and then start working on printing. And I have all the supplies and everything ready to go, so as soon as I get the go-ahead to do that, I will get things printed. I've got people lined up that have already volunteered to come in and stuff envelopes for me, so that we can get them out timely and efficiently, and so, yeah.
Plus, with the state working from home, it is really hard to get a hold of them. And one clerk, I can't remember from which county, asked if there was a self-audit, and she's got those instructions from PVD. And that's what some of the holdup was not a lot of it, but some of the holdup last year was waiting for PVD to approve my November abstract. Well, now I can self-audit and be comfortable to turn it over and say, yes, print your statements.
Yeah, so a lot better communication and more timely communication, so it's been refreshing.
Okay.
So, any questions for me on things?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Don.
You're welcome.
Okay. Beth? Mayfield? Manfield?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know where Beth is. I'm here representing the 202 on Washington project. And what we're requesting is that the county waive fees for solid waste disposal at the county landfill for all solid waste that comes from the 202 on Washington project deconstruction. We've received 2 bills so far, and we would just like to waive that and waive any future bills until construction is completed.
What kind of monies are we talking about there?
The last 2 bills were like in the 18 bucks and something like that. I mean, I don't think it's huge, but yeah. Go ahead.
So you've already have some bills out
We have
for-
2 bills, and Beth's not here, so she has the bills, but
So,
I've seen them.
so we're not talking a huge
We're
amount
not
of money
talking
here.
huge amounts, no. You know,
Okay.
just going to be.
I thought for future progress, and a lot that was coming in the way we interpreted, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As
Just
as
until
work-
you get on your
as
feet.
work progresses, and tear down continues, and construction continues, and we have scraps and we're tearing out some drywall walls and things like that, and there'll be
Okay.
just stuff.
Okay, but we're not talking forever, we're talking like
No, we're
maybe-
just talking until the project's complete, and
project's completed.
we're hoping that's sooner than later.
Just depends on how much it is.
Yeah. Any idea how much it is?
Well, I guess
I mean, how much you expect to tear it out? Is it a major project?
I don't
that
think
you're-
there's going to be a lot of tear out more. We've been tearing out some drywall, some walls that were put up, and there's a staircase that was torn out.
Do you think it's about half done?
As far as the tear down,
Yeah, just,
well, probably.
okay.
That's a good guess, Brett. That's,
So, and then you're talking $36 so far, and maybe another 36.
Even
And
if
it
it
might-
comes into 200 or so.
I would say let's say 200,
Okay.
just to be safe and not because I really can't estimate. I'm not a contractor,
It's hard to.
When you get in drywall, you're gonna get a lot more weight
Well-
then, so.
Yeah, and I don't know that there's a lot more drywall to tear down. I'm sorry that I'm the representative here. I don't know
doing fine.
anything.
Personally, I'd be fine with it, I don't know about you guys. I mean, it's not that much.
Okay.
Are you setting a dollar amount or just?
I think up to $200.
For now, yeah.
And we are a nonprofit, a 501c3. I don't know if that means anything to you, but
You need a motion on that?
Yeah, make a motion.
I moved it up to $200, landfill
Okay, I second it.
Fees be waived.
fees be waived.
Okay,
I
be
second
first and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Keep a tally and let us know.
All right, come visit us.
We will.
Mr. Klepper?
Am I next?
Yes, sir.
I'll cover what I want to talk about. I know you might as well. How are you doing? I'm good. We gotta put security on these doors.
If they couldn't take it out and dump it in that hole out there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why don't you just take a minute and read it, first of all, and I think it'll make the discussion easier.
Dump it out there and it's covered up anyway.
Right.
You want to see, you're welcome to.
Was it Century 2 that donated the 100,000 then?
What?
Is it Century 2 that donated the 100,000? Okay,
No, it's a private citizen.
okay. It's kind of how I took it, but I
Yeah,
had to
I'm
ask.
sorry, I didn't make it clear.
No, you probably did, I just.
No,
Is it, to my understanding, Century 2 would also help in the cost?
nothing yet. We haven't got, we can't start there until we get your approval.
Okay.
So nothing's been, that's the reason I asked Leslie if she'd be here. We're really in the uncharted ground as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if this has ever happened in the county where a project, money came in before anything was ever started, so.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then, like you said before, the old clinic will be,
Well, if indeed you approve it to move forward, then I think what we need to do is get together as the parties involved and say, and any of you commissioners are obviously willing to, if they want to set in, can. I realize that you can't have two of you at one time or it gets complicated. But let me kind of give you my background on what this is something I've been wanting to do a long time. And trying to figure out a way to do it, because it is a county clinic. You guys will own it, you own the current one. But going through the building of the assisted living and nursing home, I found that that's such an inefficient way we did that. An architect that didn't do his job, dealing with a contractor that probably didn't always do their job and placing the blame on everybody else. And, and then we had workers coming out of Hayes that weren't getting here till Monday at 1 o'clock and leaving at Friday at noon and all of this. So the family that donated the money, I kind of give them my vision of, let's keep the money at home. I think we can do it cheaper. I think we can, eliminate waste and do it this way. And so that's how an original thing came up to build the building. Now, in this case, since this is a county-owned facility, and we can't disrupt the service because it's so important to the Birch City and the community around there, that there probably need to be purchase some land or do some land trades or do something like that. So I think the first step would be indeed get together, get with you and say, this is what we're thinking. Leslie will have to be involved because I have a couple locations in mind. or, available, but I haven't talked to the people that own them. See what indeed, if they indeed even sell, or trade or do something. The present clinic, I can guarantee, is inadequate. In fact, a gentleman mentioned to that, he said, it's, the walls are so thin that he said the person in the next room knows the girlfriend is pregnant before the boyfriend does. So, because, it's really, we just got to replace it. And I was on the board of Century 2 a few years ago, and that's when the RGB building, we made that available. And at that time, the county hospital had some money for construction and that type of thing. I don't know whether they still do or not. So.
We could always check with Rance and see.
Well, I will, and that's, if indeed you can approve moving forward, then that's, I think, I'll probably start contacting the people involved and say, hey, let's get together and see what you're thinking, because we don't have the money about, it's not gonna be a Taj Mahal. I don't want to build a fancy building. I went and looked at clinics, actually, believe it or not, they're very simple structures, because there is no surgery, there's no, there's no x-rays, they're just simple buildings. And what I'd like to do is, be a future need, there's quite a push for mental health right now. In fact, our son's really involved in mental health. We don't really have a real good place to provide mental health services here in the county, and just try to incorporate that type of thing. Anything else, Scott, that you're on your radar that, if indeed there's down the road, there's other medical providers that would be interested in utilizing some space, allow for future planning as well as just current. So comments, thoughts?
Do you have any idea of the estimate it would cost to put up a building like this?
Well,
It's a good,
well, I do, but I don't. See, because we're just building one over at the Thresher Grounds. It's just a simple building. It's probably similar in size, but it don't have a divided room. It's going to cost $120,000. I think we're probably looking at $200,000 and $250,000 building to do it right. Because it'll be, we got
by the time
sidewalks and driveways and that type of thing.
And you're still going to work on say, Century 2?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And there's other grants.
grant
Kansas Health
people.
Foundation has monies, and yeah, I think take advantage. What I'd like to do is spend as little as the county money as we possibly can towards this project. Now,
So is this going to be county-owned, or is it going to be?
no, it's county.
privately-
It's county-owned. It'll be county-owned. The county gets it. Yeah, it'll be your property. It is currently, and it would be.
No, it's not. We don't own that clinic over there.
Yeah.
Hospital does.
Yeah. Well, the hospital is the county, isn't it?
No. Well, the only thing we own is the actual hospital building.
Who owns the clinic?
The hospital or Great Plains.
I just pulled the assessment on it.
I thought we owned the building, not the...
It was assessed at $30,000.
I don't think so, do you?
Well, we can pull it.
I don't know.
I don't
Quite
either.
Honestly, I don't know.
I was
Because
under
those
the-
were going to be my questions.
Yeah.